Well, guys, I did a poll in the chat, in the live stream chat, and it was like 65% of you said we should do the Hasan video. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm in love with WillyMac. I'm a little burnt out on Hasan, but the chat democracy wins. And let's be honest, if I cover this video, it's going to make me money anyway. So it's like, what kind of a guy would I be to not talk about it? So, hey, why not a little fan service? But then I also get a little service myself. It's kind of a double win. But anyway, the only negative is I have to talk about Hasan. But anyway, let's get this one in here. Hasan only gets worse. Continues to push misinformation. How do you make these special characters? I don't know, in the title. Let's go.
Comrades, I recently wrapped up a video series. Hello, comrades. I recently wrapped up a video series covering the worst political streamer, Hasan Piker. And whenever I wrap up a series like this, I like to...
Who's next? We got Andrew Tate, Hasan Piper. Who's next, you think?
Do a bit of a retrospective to see if anything has changed. And when it comes to our favorite lolcow Hasan, no, he hasn't changed.
Oh, God, I love it. I love the forced tears. They're so beautiful.
Changed anything despite getting massive pushback from outsiders as well as his own fans. Damn. In fact, he's done the exact same things just this past week. So I'm going to play Professor Willy and I'm going to test this.
My uncle used to play that with me too, man. That was crazy. Those are fun times. I think. I don't remember most of them. I feel like I blocked those memories out of my psyche, but...
to see if he's improved on any of the things I've criticized him for. It's only 3 questions. Does he react to content fairly now? Has he covered news stories accurately? And has he become a little bit more self-aware? When it comes to him not abiding by fair use laws, stealing content, it's the same old story. He gets up and leaves.
But you don't understand. He's a millionaire that took $1 million contract for Twitch. So now he has to just watch other people's content without reacting to it. You don't get it, Willard Mackleton. Okay, he has to do that. What do you expect this victim of society to do? What do you expect the guy who was born rich in Turkey, who was basically born in America to get dual citizenship and then goes right back? What do you expect this guy that's never had to struggle in his life? Understand it like this. People give Hasan a bad rap. He's never struggled in his entire life. That means that any struggle he does have is worse for him than it is for you. Do you understand that? Oh, you grew up poor? That means that you know what it's like to be poor. Hasan doesn't. If he doesn't make $1 million, it's the equivalent of you literally starving on the street by proportionality of suffrage. And so people don't understand that Hasan is a proportional victim. People don't look at it like that because you're so privileged. You're so, I know what it's like to not go out and be like, I personally don't. But I know what it's like to have to go to a job and you can't jack off. You know, those days were crazy. I don't have those problems anymore. I work for myself.
Mid-video, letting it play to the finish while he's not even there. People were originally angry with me that I didn't use enough new examples of Hasan getting up while the video was still playing. Well, to the surprise of only Hasan fans, he has done this every single day since my video has come out. Not once did he pause the video when he left. He always unpauses it.
He's great, in other words. So, he won a huge victory yesterday in Argentina's presidential election.
I mean, come on. I mean, what is his argument? Does he have earbuds in, maybe, is his argument? But still, you should be there to pause and react to it. I just feel like getting up on your stream, regardless of the context, and leaving the video running is wrong, unless it's an accident.
It doesn't matter if he's reacting to the news or other people's YouTube videos. He's not putting in the minimum effort when it comes to properly following
How do you react to this YouTube video that's on the screen right now? Like, you know what I mean? Like, when I react, when I do commentary, like, I've been trying to be meaningful. I try to have something to say. What am I going to say about a gun? Oh, cool. That's a cool, rubber band gun. Right? What do you say to that?
Copyright law. His own fans are making fun.
They canceled Leftovers? Would you have any information on that?
Of them saying Chair Camp, calling everyone a horrible person who calls him out for it.
Chair Camp, I love seeing Chair. There's gonna be a lot of like weird trolls that come in here today and just like repeat stuff that I've said as though it's an own, because they're just objectively bad people in general.
Failed.
Makes sense. They're objectively bad people.
But I'm sure he'll pass the next question.
Oh my God, he's crying.
This kills me.
What a f***ing bitch.
This guy's insane. Almost as insane as being able to turn your room into a planetarium. It's Cyber Week, and that means it's the best time of year for shopping online. And I just found the gem of a lifetime. It's the Galaxy Projector 2.0 lamp, turning any space into outer space. My favorite.
My wife actually might like that. How do I buy that? Do I have to use a code? $90. What the fuck? I mean, it is kind of cool. Maybe I will do this. Like, how does WillyMac get money for it?
Use for it is on those late night /.
Okay. The link he posts, is this the right link? Will Willard get it? I'll pay for this. I don't know.
WillyMac show to get your Galaxy Projector 2.0 and take
Whoa.
advantage of the grandest sale of the year. Thank you, Galaxy Lamps, for sponsoring this video.
Is there a video on the leftovers thing that you can show me?
It's so hard to be an ally sometimes.
Hasan and
Funny.
I's debates centered around his poor news coverage where he jumps wildly to conclusions before getting the full story, and then never
My wife needs a laptop. You can come in here and get it.
apologizing or correcting the story when he's wrong. Instead, he shifts the goalpost. He's done this multiple times with Ukraine, Iran, Israel. I've uploaded 2 other videos covering this in detail if you want to catch up. Point is, he's done it again. He couldn't go 1 week without misreporting a story. On Twitter, a video
Well, yeah, but what do you expect? He's doing on the ground breaking news. Sometimes you get it wrong. As long as he doesn't speak as if it is an objective truth, we're okay. As long as he's like, I think this is happening, but I could be wrong. I'm sure he's that reasonable.
video went viral, 8 million views, showing a Palestinian kid get yelled at by Israeli police. The tweet was
That's messed up, man. That's so sad.
captioned, Ahmad was kidnapped 8 years ago when he was only 13 years old. This leaked video shows Israeli officers interrogating him. This is how Israelis treat Palestinian children. Israel
Okay, well, that's an interesting claim. I'd like to honestly know more. You got to be careful about those types of claims that on either side, if it was like a Palestinian police officer and an Israeli child, you got to be careful because speaking incorrectly about this, especially with a lot of passion, could rile tensions and rile issues between Palestinians and Israelis. And that's not good. And I don't know if you guys know this, but we're supposed to try to reduce the suffering. You know, Hasan made that joke about being an ally. Being an ally for a cause is about using your privilege of not being close to the cause to not get emotionally riled up. That's a real thing. Because if you get emotionally riled up and you start going off, you have no justifier for that, number one. You have no justifier for that. You have no base feelings for that, but you're just riling up tensions. When a Palestinian or an Israeli get very upset about what's going on, they're there. It's more in their face. So it's understandable, but you need to make sure you regulate yourself in a better way. That's the whole entire point of allyship. That's one of the biggest points. So
kidnapped over 800
his last laugh shot 1 minute and 45.
80 Palestinian children in 2023 only. Hasan would immediately quote tweet this saying, "Indefensible monsters," getting another 5 million views and over 75,000 likes. Now Hasan just made it seem like Israel kidnapped this kid for no reason. They're monsters. But if you just take 2 seconds and Google his name, you'll see that he was running around holding knives with his 15-year-old cousin. His cousin stabbed a
Damn. Teenage boys are pieces of shit, man. I'm so... What's up, baby? Do you know where it is? I don't either. Right there. 15, teenage boys are such pieces of shit. Weird. Anyway, teenage boys are real tough. They're tough to deal with. It was funny. I was walking through Walmart before with yesterday with my wife, and I was like, we saw Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle action figures. I'm like, oh, I used to have stuff like that. And she's like, oh, that's cool. And I was like, yeah, then I lit it on fire. I just started lighting things on fire as a teenage boy. And so, I feel bad because this teenage boy grows up in some kind of a rough time and he's running around with knives, but you can't let people do that. That's dangerous. They can get really hurt. They can hurt themselves. They can hurt other people. So, you gotta regulate that. You gotta regulate that, brother.
a 13-year-old Israeli boy and another 21-year-old before getting shot by a dude he also tried to stab. The boy in the video was then stopped after getting hit by a car. That is not the same as this kid getting kidnapped by the IDF. He was arrested and convicted for attempted murder. He's on video doing it. Hasan doesn't care to add any of that crucial context because the truth does not matter to him. May I remind you, this is the same guy who says he does a better job at reporting than most news outlets.
I am not held up by the same...
Well, yeah, but he knows that he's not going to get any real negative attention from his own audience for that. He can could say and do whatever he wants, and it doesn't matter.
Journalistic standards, even though I think I do a much better job than most other news outlets in general.
I responded to him with, amazing journalism, Hasan. And his response to me is exactly what I've been criticizing him for. He demonizes me, moves the goalpost, and then continues to get the story wrong. You think it's okay to torture and extract a confession out of a 13-year-old? You depraved freak? He's
Jesus, man, he's got anger problems. I swear to God, Hassan's gonna hit somebody one day, and I'm gonna laugh.
making it sound like I love torturing kids.
Hassan's gonna hit Pokemon one day. They're gonna hang out. They're gonna end up falling in love because they're both insufferable. And then he's gonna hit her, and I'm gonna laugh. And I'm gonna say, that's what you get for selling overpriced cookies, bitch. I'm just kidding. I would never. That's terrible. But I'm just telling you, man, Hasan is a loose cannon. And not one of the good kind. He's not like a loose cannon cop like Bruce Willis. He's just a loose cannon. He's gonna hit somebody one day. It's gonna be bad. He would be the Israeli soldier screaming at the 13-year-old boy. I'm just letting you know. Hasan has the type of personality to be a police officer. And that is a fact. You know, I know a lot of police officers, and Hasan has it in him to be a police officer. You know what I mean?
The torture Hasan is referring to is the cops threatening and insulting the kid during the interrogation. It's in his own linked source. As for the extracted confession,
which is wrong, yeah.
Again, he did do it. It's on camera. Hasan continues, do you know anything about this case? He was run over by a car before this. No, he was run over by a car after he was an accomplice in stabbing 2 people. You don't know anything about this case. He then says his 15-year-old cousin who stabbed 2 people was shot dead on the spot. But again, if you just
we stabbed 2 people, so
watch the video, the 15-year-old ran at and tried to stab a 3rd person who then shot him. I would show you the video, but YouTube won't allow it. It is easy enough to Google for yourself.
I trust you, Willard.
A single sentence of this tweet was right. Hasan would then go on stream and rewrite history, framing everyone as toddler murderers.
What's important here is to understand that the position that they're taking is to violently torture toddlers for crimes that they are either suspected of doing or sometimes openly not even convicted of doing.
Like, I look at that cop yelling at that Israeli, the Palestinian kid, and I'm like, something's off. There should be they should be acting better. But at the same time, you got a kid running around with a knife. And I'm really tired of this idea that like young men, 13-year-old, 14-year-old, 15-year-old young men they're grown. I was 6 foot tall. I was 6 foot plus tall when I was like 14. And obviously mentally they're not all there, you know, but like they're physically still can be very domineering. I mean, we saw like the group of 13-year-old boys beat like a professional women's fucking soccer team, which is very funny. But you know, it's like they can be very dangerous as a kid. It's the unfortunate reality, you know. And you know, Hamas is getting to these kids young so that this can happen. They're trying to recruit kids just like gangs do in New York. I don't know if you saw that movie with Daniel Day-Lewis in it, but you know, Daniel Day-Lewis is trying to recruit kids to do gang stuff in America too. And that's like the whole point. They have kids do it so that the media will look at them in a more favorable light, or the justice system will give them a less harsh punishment. You know, it's like it's fucked up. And you know, maybe I'm wrong. It's just an assumption that this kid has some kind of connection to like Hamas in some capacity, because that's how it works. Though they try to recruit young, vulnerable people. And you know, like, where's the criticism for that? I'm just saying.
This guy is talking about a med who is convicted and guilty on every level. But if you believe that objective truth, you're a toddler murderer.
Your expectation should not be that like these are perfect victims. Your expectation should be to abide by at least some standards that show a semblance of morality when incarcerating a fucking 13-year-old.
Well, I mean, if he kills people, he should go to jail.
Okay. In that situation, the 13-year-old with the knife is not the animal.
Well, he is.
The whole ass adult and the entire structure that imprisoned him and placed him in solitary confinement and broke him. And
yeah, if that's, I don't even know if that's true. If he was placed in solitary confinement, I can criticize that while also going, we probably shouldn't have 13-year-olds running around with knives.
Where he developed schizophrenia. That is the animalistic, barbaric structure.
Okay.
A 13-year-old is innocent, man.
Well, no, he's not innocent.
Fucking ridiculous.
I don't get how he's victimizing this kid.
it's annoying because he's just not being intelligent or nuanced about it. Like, you could feel bad for the kid because of what the surroundings that he grew up in and the fact that he was thrown in solitary and yelled at by an Israeli police officer without making him like, oh, he's innocent. Like, he tried to stab people, he tried to kill people. And I'm sure he was misguided. I mean, he's got an entire pipeline of misguided, nature. And, that's a whole conversation about the atmosphere that was created by the Israelis versus Hamas, really. It's just sad, but Hasan just has to victimize him because he's not Jewish, and Hasan hates Jewish people. I'm Jewish. Hasan hates. That's why he hates me. He's nothing else, no other reason. But this is the thing. Hasan's the type of person who can't make tough decisions in the real world. Hasan's not. He's the kind of person that can't make tough decisions in the real world, and that's how I respect you. There's going to be times in your life where something's going to happen where you're going to have a choice between two bad decisions. And you have to make a choice between those two bad decisions, and you have to live with that choice for the rest of your life. Hasan just couldn't make that choice. He's not an adult. He wouldn't be able to make that sacrificial choice. He wouldn't be able to, stand firm on some belief system. He's a coward, and that this is shown here because he can't parse through information. He can't go, fuck, this is a tough situation, and I can understand what's going on here. He just can't do that. He lived a life of privilege. That's why, that's the whole problem with Hasan.
13-year-olds can and do commit crimes. In the United States, we have 13-year-olds that have served life sentences for attempted murder. Same charge.
And I don't know what this dude's personal politics are, but
well, I don't know what this guy's personal politics are. I talked to him on stream for an hour, but I don't know anything about him.
I don't think he's anti-Palestinian. I don't know what
this is. I love that this is always the tactic. We have this is Hasan's we have so much in common tactic. Please be aware of it. It's annoying as shit. It is the literal boogie defense. I don't know why he throws a small boogie defense in there where he tries to jack off the person he disagrees with to be like, we actually disagree with a lot of stuff. Why are you being so unreasonable? I hate it. It drives me up a fucking wall.
what's going on there. But it is very shocking to me that these guys will literally take any position they can because they probably think, I don't know.
Now I understand why WillyMac made this video, because Hasan provoked him on Twitter. Well, Hasan made a dumb take on Twitter. WillyMac responded to it, and then Hasan melted down about it on his stream for a while.
What the fuck I'm talking about.
You don't.
And this makes it seem like Ahmad Manazra was completely living his life, and then that was just ripped off the streets or something. I guess that's the reason.
Yes, that's what it makes it seem like. It makes it seem like that he was just kidnapped with no actual justification. It riles up tensions and it paints Israelis as pure blood monsters. That's the problem with your video. You're a scumbag. Again, you can criticize the way the police are acting without trying to make, they were kidnapped. It's the same shit that drives me nuts when we did a hostage exchange where we exchanged actual hostages, Israeli hostages, or Hamas had actual hostages of Israeli people, and they exchanged them for criminals, convicted criminals that were trying to kill people. And it's we're they had children too. It's yeah, because Hamas recruits fucking kids to do terrorist acts. No shit, there's kids there. It's like Israelis are bad for imprisoning kids that want to murder people. The Hamas isn't bad for fucking radicalizing children. It's holy shit.
Oh my god, he's learning. Yes, you misreported the story. That's the point. He's finally getting it. Progress.
I suspect he didn't fucking know the full details and saw
that's you. You wouldn't know the full details.
something on Reddit and thought, this is a good opportunity to strike.
You don't know the full details.
Without reading up on it again, or even if now he's read up on it, he probably can still try and justify it by being look at the video, he's running around with a knife.
Yeah, no shit.
13-year-old under no circumstances should be put under this condition. Okay.
I don't know the specifics. I can agree though that you shouldn't be screaming at somebody like that. Of course. That doesn't, but the problem is that when I say that, there are issues on both sides. When Hasan says that, it's to justify the kid running around and being a lethal person that could kill somebody.
Okay. There's no world.
Yeah, he's doing the lowered expectation racism again. Yeah, the racism of lowered expectations. Yeah, Hasan loves doing that. He does it when it comes to Palestinians. He does it when it comes to black people with Kai Cenat riots. He doesn't respect people of color. He doesn't respect people of color. He doesn't respect people with different cultures or communities. It's all what he can do to turn everything into what's positive for him and his perspective.
In which this is appropriate or acceptable.
If he wants to have the opinion that you shouldn't be able to imprison 13-year-olds, okay, fine. But just look at how he shifted the goalpost throughout this entire conversation. It starts off with the IDF are monsters for kidnapping this 13-year-old for no reason. When called out, he demonizes me by implying that I like it when 13-year-olds get tortured.
I do. It's funny. I'm just kidding. That's horrible. But it is funny when they fall on the ground after running around Walmart. You know, like, oh, they're running around Walmart being obnoxious and everything, and then they trip and fall, and it's funny. You know what I mean? It's not my fault that it's funny, but it is. You deserve it, you little asshole. And I'm that little asshole, by the way. So
He then says the cousin was shot on the spot, leaving out the details that he was trying to stab a third person. He then calls everyone toddler murderers for thinking these kids are guilty.
isn't it interesting, though? It's interesting. The toddler murderer thing is interesting.
Which they are.
The position that they're taking is to violently torture toddlers.
And
This is a huge internet problem. Is constantly infantilizing children. And I want to be very clear because it sounds weird, but you can, if you're aware of this moving forward, you'll notice it constantly when there's some kind of an issue going on in the media or online when it comes to some bullshit drama. The age of a young person, a minor, is always reduced. It's like, oh, the kid was 17. Yeah, see, this person's talking to a kid. A 17-year-old's not a kid. They're a teenager. A toddler is like 1 year old. This kid is a teenager. And it's like there's different degrees of development. And obviously, in the case of somebody talking to a minor is bad if they're like 30 something. But the point is the constant sensationalization. You would know that somebody who talks to 12-year-olds is more disgusting than somebody who talks to 17-year-olds. They're both bad if they're like 30, but you understand that there is a proportionality. And this is one of those things. Infantilizing the 13-year-old to make it the kid be a toddler, which is 1 or 2, is very intentional. It is to invoke you in the brain some kind of like sympathy. It's to make you feel even worse for this kid. He's a kid, but it's a teenage boy. And I used to be a teenage boy, and like teenage boys are difficult to deal with, and you know, and it's just something that you should really keep in mind because people will do this shit constantly, and it fundamentally is a huge issue because this is what conservatives do. They say children aren't capable of learning comprehensive sexual health education. Oh, a 12-year-old can't learn about a penis. That's when a 12-year-old needs to learn about penises and vaginas and sexual health education, because teaching those things, first of all, educates them on sex and boundaries and consent, which is good for them getting older. But also, if they have a family member or somebody molesting them and they don't understand that, they will be educated on it by learning about this, right? And so we have a problem fundamentally in society of not treating kids their age. We tend to treat kids younger than their age, and then kids tend to want to be older than their age. And so these kids are always in this flux of being treated like they're like a 15-year-old is in a flux of being treated like he's 12, but then like him wanting to be at 19, back and forth. And it's such a confusing thing. And we need to be proportionate. We need to be more on the nose and be more accurate about our representation of young people, just from a mental health perspective. And especially when it comes to talking about stuff like this, because it's like wildly unintelligent what Hasan is doing, and he's being conservative. I just want to be very clear. He's so left, he's right. This is what's happening here. He's infantilizing a child, or he's infantilizing a teenager, calling them a toddler, a stage of development of like 1 or 2 years old or whatever. Because it fits a narrative of trying to paint this person like you're not dangerous. 13-year-olds can be very dangerous. I was over 6 feet tall at 13 years old. I was very dangerous. Like, I'm not, like, obviously you want to treat a kid differently. You want to treat a 13-year-old differently, and they shouldn't be screaming at him. But at the same time, like, there has to be something that's done. Like, I could have killed somebody as a kid if I was running at someone with a knife. Like, that would have been destructive. Like, you know, it's an unfortunate reality. So,
and then when he finally gets on stream, the argument becomes, well, they did do it, but 13-year-olds shouldn't serve 9 years. Oh, and Willy's a drama farm.
There's nothing wrong with 13-year-olds serving prison time. The problem isn't 13-year-olds serving prison time. The problem is how effective is the prison at keeping that kid out of prison again. That's the issue. I don't know what's going on in Israel. You know, this is a complicated situation over there, but like in America, it's not very good. So that's the bigger issue more than anything else. But then it's also like, what kind of prison would a 9-year-old go to, or 13-year-old, you know, et cetera, et cetera.
So it doesn't matter if I'm wrong.
The reason why I'm bringing this up, though, is because while this dipshit doesn't have any real politics associated with it and is just simply trying to drama bait and drama farm, there are, however,
WillyMac is really getting to Hasan. I think that WillyMac somehow is getting to Hasan in a way. Like, Hasan has been very very, I forget what the term he says, but he's like anti-clout. He won't respond to anybody. He won't he will just say like, I'm not, he's not going to put the name in his mouth. That was shortly after he called me a fat guy, which is funny. For like a year now, and it's been doing really well for him, and his career has been building. But whatever reason, this WillyMac arc is bothering him so much that he's been responding, and it is never going to go his way. It's never going to go his way. The biggest reason is because WillyMac is smarter than Hasan. He puts more effort and he's more calculated in his responses, which is expected. I'm a Twitch streamer. Well, I'm a YouTube streamer. But we just talk about shit every day. Boom, 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 boom. The second we see something, that's one of the problems that you have to sift through. And Hasan hasn't learned how to deal with it. That's why he gets so many things wrong. WillyMac sits back, he waits for you to say something, and then he thinks about what his response is going to be, and it's more meaningful and intentional. And so he's more intelligent. He comes off as more intelligent as well because of that. He's more researched because of that. And there's going to be people in Hasan's audience that will always agree with him regardless. But then there's going to be people who will look at WillyMac and what he's saying, and it's going to slowly erode their trust and their respect for Hasan. It's small little things. Anybody looking at that and watching Hasan stumble through it, yeah, of course they're going to jack him off because they're his fans, but there's going to be a few people that go in there and go like, wait, that kind of makes sense to me. And it's not going to hit them immediately. They're still going to be Hasan Glazers, but in a month, 2 months, they're going to take a nice shit, or they're going to take a nice shower, and they're going to have a shower thought. They're going to have an epiphany, and they're going to go like, wow, this guy kind of sucks. And that's all it takes. WillyMac is a substantial downfall, and I don't understand why Hasan responds to him. I love it, but I don't understand why. It's not good for you. It's not good for your career. You're a fucking idiot. You're taking this bait. That's not even that much bait. He's just on Twitter saying you're stupid, basically, and Hasan's melting down. That's just what is going on. And big part of it's because WillyMac is making these really solid videos against him. But
however, plenty of people who do legitimately have a political ideological position.
Hold on, if you
was Hasan losing subs from this? I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, he's so big that it's hard to. It's not even about gaining new subs. It's about maintaining it.
actually cared about any of the news you covered, you would get it right the first time. You wouldn't leave out all these crucial details. Don't pretend like you care when you really don't. Hasan admitting he's a propagandist isn't a meme at this point, because that's what he's actually doing, misrepresenting stories to support his worldview.
Just like I do.
That's the thing, because I see people with the propagandist take. So Hasan said that he was a propagandist and that we all are. That's not true. Propaganda is information, especially of a biased or misleading nature, used to promote or publicize a particular political cause or point of view. By that definition, it works out. But there is a seedier definition that is about intentionally misrepresenting the other side and not promoting them in the way that they deserve to be promoted. I would of course say that I have information that is biased. We all do. But misleading nature is what Hasan does time in and time out. He's a true propagandist in a way of intentionality and being full of disinformation. He's trying to educate you to hate Israeli people. That's just a fact at this point. It's good to criticize Israel and the government, but he wants you to hate them. That's why he never has a charitable take towards them in any capacity. That's why it's always the most extreme take. That's all it comes out. That's literally all it is. Oh shit, we got WillyMac in the chat. I'm gonna wait for it to read it, dude. I'm gonna wait for it to read it, okay?
Propaganda.
I'm a propagandist.
Well, no.
For the record.
But Hasan
I'm a propagandist, for the record.
doesn't only get geopolitical news wrong, he's so incompetent he can't even get YouTube drama right. Let's detour.
Come on, man. That's why I do YouTube drama, because it's such an easy dunk.
WillyMac shows
There we go,
$10,
dude.
recruiting
There we go.
gut to be my propagandist.
1,000%. 1,000%, dude. I will always propagandize for WillyMac. The reason I can say that and Hasan can't is because I'm funny. Okay, I'm actually a comedian. I'm going to create my own club. I'm building my own club over here in New York. I have a black friend that is a comedian. He's never actually gone on stage before. His name is Steven, but he says he's a comedian. And also, I'm going to get banned from Twitter. So it's incredible stuff.
Pokimane came under fire when she launched her newly made Mina cookies.
Oh shit, it sounds like an ad read for her.
This happened because she acted like she was in a lab crafting these for 2 years.
Listen, here's my thing with the cookie controversy. I covered it. I think it's, who cares? You know, it's just cookies. They're overpriced. I don't really care. It was kind of funny when she said that that people are too poor to buy them. I thought it was hilarious. I don't like Pokimane because she's a bad. I just think that she's like a rotten person. I could tell she's not a good person. She's friends with Hasan. That's all I really need to know. You know, if you associate with that kind of lowbrow community, then like, what am I supposed to think of you? But like, it was, the cookie thing was like, so it was, people got a little pearl clutchy on it. Like, I saw the Moist Critical video. I was like, is this really that big of a deal? I feel like, who cares? But you know what? God bless. Whatever.
I'm so excited that
But Hasan doing like a 2-hour, I was going to watch the hour-long video Hasan did about Voice Critical's like 8-minute video. And I got like 10 minutes in. I said, I'm done. I can't do it. Over what? Like, you could have literally said what I said in 45 seconds and moved on. That's all he had to say. It's not worth sitting there and like caring about.
I finally can. Like, I can't believe I'm uttering these words. I have been working on launching a brand / company / product for the last 2 years.
If I was going to make a product, I think I would make a new type of Cheez-It. That's it. A new type of Cheez-It. Maybe the Cheez-It was stuffed with cheese. Huh? Fuck this health food.
Imagine 2 years of not being able to share that.
When in reality,
I mean, what have you been working on? You've been talking to other people to make it for you.
is the exact same ingredients as another
Hey, there's more vitamin D in it, bro. There's not even that much more.
brand, showing that it was most likely a white labeled product.
Yeah, whatever. There was more vitamin D in
Is
it,
the
though.
exact same
It's right here. And if you think about it, women do struggle with that vitamin D deficiency. That is the truth. That's why there's so many. That's the problem. That's why you shouldn't be a lesbian. Because you need to get a little bit of this vitamin D. I got a wedgie right now. No, but in all seriousness, women do tend to struggle with vitamin D deficiency. My wife, she takes vitamin D supplements. That's it. That's all the things. So maybe she's a feminist after all, guys. Maybe she's a feminist.
same ingredients as another brand, showing that it was most likely a white labeled product. She also marketed it as a health food because there is extra vitamin D, but there is nowhere near enough vitamin D to supplement a vitamin deficiency like she claims.
I think the other product that she white labeled, whatever, was also considered a health food. So I think that's why.
Like, it was just an idea in my mind that I had no idea if it was possible, but she made it happen. We have infused vitamin D. If you are like me, you might have a vitamin D deficiency. I know I have
I'm not a woman.
for a very long time. Anytime I get my blood work done,
I'm not a woman. I don't have problems like that. I know how to eat correctly. Women don't eat enough red meat. I don't know what vitamin D is in. Milk? I drink milk right out the goddamn container. I don't give a fuck.
that's always top of the list. I'm always trying to take vitamin D supplements. The fact that we can make a
Trying. How hard is it?
delicious, healthy snack and it has functional benefits like
Wow.
vitamin D. I just
How we snack up. I'm just looking at this because I don't know, something's to me it's like weird. It's like, look at how we stack up. We have less sugar, we have less calories, we have less net carbs. It's like, so I'm getting less bang for my buck. Hey guys, pay $7 for 300 calories or pay $2 for 900 calories. What the fuck kind of an idiot would I have to be? You know, I'll take a vitamin D tablet and I'll eat an Oreo cookie. You know, fuck it. Am I right? That just makes more sense. That's just smarter. That's what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to start selling Oreo cookies, and instead of putting vitamin D in them, I'm going to sell tablets of vitamin D. So the idea is that, like, you know, it's going to be based on how long it takes to eat. So it's like, you got a roll of 30 Oreos. I'm going to give you 1 day's worth of vitamin D because I eat that bitch in a day. I'm just kidding. And you just take one of those pills and start popping the Oreos and you're good. That's so much cheaper. There you go. 30 Oreos and 1 pill of vitamin D.
And by the way, the nutritional facts, these are the exact same cookies. The only difference is 3 micrograms of vitamin D. Now this is where I get
What the fuck is a microgram? Is that actually an MCG?
a little bit upset.
let's see. Well, it's 15% of your daily suggested value. So I guess it's like 60% per container of cookies. I imagine you don't want it like to get too much vitamin D, or else you'll have too much in your system, and that could lead to kidney stones.
You have to eat 7 cookies to get 120 IUs of vitamin D every single day. In my opinion, that is not an efficacious dose of vitamin D.
So I'm not trying to be an asshole. Your opinion is wholly irrelevant because it tells you that the percentage recommended daily value is 15%. So if you're getting 15% with your vitamin D, that seems fine. If you're going to eat the whole thing of cookies, which is already pretty small, the whole thing's going to have 60% of your daily recommended value of vitamin D. It seems fine. Like it seems like more than enough vitamin D to be in the product. It doesn't matter if it's a milligram. It doesn't matter how much it actually is. It's not a microgram. It doesn't matter how big or how much is in there. What matters is the percentage of a daily recommended value that matters. That's literally all that matters.
And therefore, it should not be used to market product.
Pokimane would sell these in packs of 4 for 28.
That's a weird expectation because that's what companies do. They use misleading advertising. So like, why put that? Like, yeah, no shit. Like you'll see things that will say like no sugar added. So some people that communicates sugar free, or they'll say like that. Yeah, no sugar added. It's made with real fruit. It's like fruit is incredibly high in sugar because it has been bred in a way to be as delicious as possible, as full of fruit meat as possible. You look at like old bananas and watermelons, there's huge seeds, there's barely anything to really eat. They're bred in a way that's full of tons and tons of sugar. And so now we think that fruit's healthy. It's not. Like the vitamins in it are good, but it's not. Like, yeah, if you're better off having a piece of fruit than ice cream, but it is very close to how bad it is because it is so full of sugar. There's a lot of different misleading things that are going to go on.
Breaking down to $7 a pack, which I think is
What am I reading wrong? What are you talking about? It says it right here, you stupid fuck. What am I reading wrong? 15% vitamin D. That's what we're talking about. Shut up.
Pretty hefty price for repackaged cookies, but Pokey would laugh at everyone for saying so.
Based.
Like, oh my god,
Base as fuck.
$28 for cookies? It's 4 bags.
Why can I hear her swallowing and the spit in her mouth? Is this some kind of a porn thing for her fans? Like, I don't know. Yeah, you should just have ice cream instead of a piece of fruit. Fuck it. At least there's milk in there.
$7 a bag. I know math is...
I think the problem is Pokemon constantly morally grandstanding your positions and have... Yeah, maybe. I mean, that's the truth. And like, sure. I just don't like her. I think that she's annoying. That's all my perspective is. It's not that deep to me, but I get it. Also, guys, if you buy like 7 bags or something, or you do a monthly subscription, it's 10% off the bag. So that's marketing genius.
It's hard when you're an idiot, but...
Oh, I think it's funny as hell.
Broke boy, just say so.
Which is a hilarious response since she said this in her launch video.
I don't really come out with many things. I haven't even had merch in like years. I don't want you guys spending your money on something unless it's really, really worth your money. I don't like to promote very many things for that reason. So I really hope it's something that you guys will love just as much as I love it.
They don't.
She would also be called a hypocrite because she criticized creators in the past for using the same rhetoric. Invader V called her viewers...
Dude, you're so fucking pissing me off. Oh, it's 15 MCG for the entire bag. Okay, I just need to... We're going to go back here. I'm going to just backtrack. Because I don't know if you just have like a mental disorder here. I'm reading the fucking nutritional information on the bag. Serving size, 7 cookies, 4 servings per container. This is the serving size of the... This is what's in each serving of the cookie. This isn't the entire bag, you smelly little bitch. Look at the fucking... Have you ever read a fucking thing before in your life? I'm getting so fucking triggered for no reason right now. Dude, just go read nutritional information. This is per serving. What do you... you interpreted it wrong. How? How have you never, ever... Look, how fat are you? Are you fatter than me? Why am I getting so fucking triggered right now? Are you fucking morbidly obese? Like, I don't understand. That's how you read nutrition information. If you're reading it as this is for the whole bag, you are going to die early because of horrible health conditions. What are you talking about, bro? What the fuck are you talking about? What are you saying? Oh, it's the entire bag, not per cookie. First of all, nobody said it was per cookie. I said it was per serving. I don't even... You're a government psyop to make me have high blood pressure. Fuck. 7 cookies is the serving size. Okay? There's 15% of your vitamin D per serving. That means the whole bag has 60% of your recommended daily vitamin D dose. All right? This is not a debatable topic. This specific aspect is a fact. This is a fact. I'm not asking you a question, motherfucker. I'm not asking you a question, Harmony. I'm letting you know that's how you read nutritional information, you fat fuck. I didn't know how to read it till today because I'm fat as hell. No, all jokes aside, though, like, you're just wrong about that. Nobody said per cookie. You're hearing what you want to hear. Listen, open your fucking ears up. What are you talking about, dude?
Unless it's something that
Criticized creators in the past for using the same rhetoric, Invader V called her viewers broke.
That was a little intense. So that was probably a disproportionate reaction.
For not subbing to her for $5.
That was probably a little over the top. But you know what? I'm feeling like Hasan today. I even have Hasan's chair back here. Empty chair for all you to see.
Doesn't matter how broke you are. If you have time to watch Twitch, you have $10. Truly. If you don't have $10, you probably don't have time to watch Twitch because you should be working. You should be trying to earn money. It's not a ton. It's not like a ton of money.
This is kind of funny, though. This is a little based. It's kind of funny.
Pookie would reply, if $5 is an irrelevant amount of money, then she shouldn't need the $5 from your subscription. If she argues that it adds up when multiple people give her $5, then she should realize it works the same way when it comes to saving. Get these shitty takes off of my timeline and off of my streaming platform.
Ooh,
Pookie
got her.
is objectively wrong in this situation. She's falsely advertised the product in multiple ways. She's charging a lot.
Is it a false? I mean, personally, I don't see the false advertisement in it, but okay.
Of money for it, and she's hypocritically calling her audience broke for not buying it. It is a slam dunk case. How could you possibly?
I just don't care. I feel like we're all pearl clutching a little because we don't like her, and that's the thing. She's very unlikable, and that's understandable. But I feel like it's not that big of a deal. We're all kind of going off on it. You know, me personally, I just think it's funny. I don't care. I'm on a complete woke burnout. So I don't really give a shit about anything, to be honest with you, anymore. Maybe that's the problem, but...
Grew up covering this story. Well, Hasan finds a way. Charlie made a video saying pretty much the exact same thing I told you, and Hasan, while reacting to it, implied that you would only have that opinion because she's a woman. But
based. I mean, maybe some of the reason why people don't like her is because she's a woman. It is undeniable. I'm not saying that's the whole factor. Like, you know, there's multiple ingredients to make a cake. But like Leafy's entire bullying campaign on Pokemon was because she was a girl. That's my understanding. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's not like, I mean, this guy literally just hates everything not white man, which is weird to say because I sound like such a libtard. So there's probably a factor of that, but more than that, like she's such an unlikable person. I just don't like her, you know? So,
but first, of course, he has to leave.
She's just like a nasty person, a little virtue signaling fuck that likes Hasan. And yeah, she's not interesting. She's not good at any video game. She's just attractive. It's like, and she was like the first woman to make a Twitch. Like, that's really all it was. You know what I mean? She was an attractive woman to make a Twitch. I don't get the appeal, but it's also not for me. I don't know. I mean, there's plenty of women who actually are intelligent that don't get the time of day and don't have their platform promoted. But you got Pokimane. I mean, she doesn't even fart on camera. If that would be different, if Pokemon started farting on camera, then like I would get it. I would get it. But then she does the zoom back camera, and then she sits there like she's trying to show off her body without being sexually explicit. And then whatever, like do you? I can't do that because this is what you'd see. It's not bad when you look at it with a shirt on, with like a blue dark shirt, but. Imagine just like seeing this. It's not gonna be, well, I might get money from gay guys, but you know, I'm not gonna get money. Women don't fart. Don't ruin my dreams, brother. Don't ruin my dreams.
While the video is still playing.
The chance that you have, my brain is scrambled.
Wait, what the hell? What the fuck? Oh.
But first, of course, he has to leave while the video is still
I went on such a tangent. I'm like, this isn't Pokemon.
Still playing.
The chance that you have, my brain is scrambled. What happened?
So after missing all the context of Charlie's video, he comes back and says this. When Pokey calls everyone broke.
The big mistake here is that she thought that she could be a woman online.
Oh, well, you can't say. Lesson learned. Stop being a woman online. We won't have these problems. Trans exists. You don't have to be that anymore.
And then also,
and I mean a woman. You should be trans. I love trans people. Women, I'm a love-hate relationship with that.
Come across as not super serious in this very important moment. Even if you're fucking joking, even if you're fucking making a meme like, oh, broke boys or whatever, one that I've made a million times over.
Yeah, but you guys aren't funny. You're not like me. I'm very funny. Okay, I'm a comedian.
Tensions are high.
You
People
forgot
are
what we're
looking for
talking about
drama.
too, yeah.
They're gonna fucking cut this as though you are 100% genuine, and you're going, yeah, you're poor shaming.
She's not joking. She's unironically mad that people have a problem with the price tag.
I mean, I'm sure that she's giving her version of a joke. To be honest with you, I'm sure. I mean, there's always a truth behind a joke, or usually there's some truth behind a joke in many instances. You know, that's what makes them funny. So she probably is kind of like, yeah, you're poor, but it is the joke. That's the thing. It's like, it is a joke, but she also kind of means it. But I think she's just trying to dunk on somebody who she finds annoying. Again, I don't give a fuck about her.
If you watch the full context of her stream, it's clear she's not joking, but it's Hasan. Zero research Hasan.
Are you sure she's just not funny and like her joke like missed the mark because of it? Because that's how I would interpret it.
Makes things up.
This is literally a core joke to XQC's entire platform. Exactly.
But XQC is kind of funny though. You know, or at least he's constantly making. I don't know what it is. I like XQC. I know he steals content. You know, we both react, but he doesn't do a very transformative nature. But I don't know. There's something about the guy's attitude. It's like funny. I enjoy him.
Here's who's doing it. Pokemon. She's not allowed to do it.
True.
I'm gonna get mad now. The other thing about how unhinged haters are in this case is how I doubt that the deep dive in the cookies would have been even happening if it was a different content creator doing it. No, exactly.
Exactly, guys.
That's the point.
They would have
Hasan
never
saying
done
XQC
this
would get away with this again just shows how much he talks out of his ass.
Yeah, I mean, XQC literally gets dumpstered constantly.
Charlie would debunk Hasan's point immediately on stream.
Hasan said if XQC said that to his community was broke, nobody would say a thing, so Pokey is a victim, I guess.
Well, I mean, that part might be true. If he says something like that to his community, nobody would care because XQC has. That's the thing. XQC's community is different because he's trained them to not give a shit when XQC talks negatively about them, even in a joking way. But I mean, XQC's constantly getting dumpstered by people. Is it Pokemon's community that's getting on her, or is it people outside of the community? Because people are outside of XQC's community are constantly dumpstering him. I mean, there was that one woman in his community, Murkoff the Perk, who virtue signaled that she was basically sexually assaulted by one of his fucking orbiters because they had consensual casual sex, never talked about where he's going to come, and then he came in her on accident. And then afterwards, she rejected him for being too short and young, and then she got upset that he wouldn't talk to her anymore. It's like, you know what I mean?
Did Hasan really say that? Because every time XQC brings up money, Twitter eats him alive the same way, if not worse than Pokey.
Charlie's 100% right here. XQC gets grilled constantly for bringing up money. It's ridiculous to imply sexism is at play when it comes to Pokey. Hasan's ignorance on this topic can be summed up with one clip.
I think this whole, like, look, her own...
I'm surprised that WillyMac watched the whole Hasan thing. So that's a joke. I would never be able to get through it. I would never be able to get through that. That's a lot. That's brain rot.
Community has brought up valid concerns about the cookie gate and the cookie prices, and she's yelling at them is silly.
Yeah, but incels and video game gate, Gamergate.
That's not what happened.
Then what happened?
I don't even know what happened, but I
Okay.
No, that's not what happened.
Cool. Damn. On the ground journalist Hasan Piker at work. This is the same criticism I brought up to Hasan in our debate.
You not watching my videos is the same level of reporting that you give Israel and Gaza. It's the same level of reporting that you give Ukraine.
I'm going to be honest with you. If you think
minimum effort in and just
you are revealing, you're revealing how stupid you are by claiming that watching a YouTube video is the same as like reading news reports and talking to on the ground journalists.
He doesn't talk to anybody. He reads tweets from on the ground people, from unconfirmed sources.
Forensic analysts.
No, I'm not. I'm saying you won't even do the bare minimum, and you won't.
Give me your forensic analyst. Put it in my butt. That's the joke, but I missed the mark.
Don't even do it for a drama video.
I'm losing my fucking mind.
If Hasan can't accurately navigate a simple and straightforward drama about cookies, do you think he's capable of navigating these complex geopolitical issues? No, of course not.
His argument against that would be, well, it's not an important topic, so I don't really put much effort into it, which sometimes is how I feel. But also, I think that's a fair criticism.
He's making stuff up all the same. And since it's about breaking news,
I'm just here to occasionally play devil's advocate.
His misreporting leads to people getting radicalized and him labeling people as drama farmers who correct him. It's embarrassing.
It's shocking, I guess, more so to me that this is like a farming operation that works.
When he says this, he's just self-reporting as a
I mean, listen, let's just be honest. There is a level of drama farming to Hasan, of course. Like, let's just embrace it. Let's embrace it. Oh, you're just drama farming. Yes, of course. Okay, I don't like you because you're a piece of shit that lies constantly. You are a privileged little baby, virtue signaling asshole that is completely uncharitable. You're just a bad person fundamentally. So, and you're popular. So when you do something wrong, it has a lot of influence, and I love criticizing you for it. Of course, there's a level of drama farm to it, and people love it too because they like getting you're fucking knocked on your ass. But it's because you're so dishonest and shitty and worthless, and your commentary is such garbage dog shit that people will farm you. You are a political lolcow. The only thing stopping Hasan from being a political lolcow is that he's not smart enough to be self-aware enough about it. That's it. That's it. So I don't care. Oh, it's just a drama. Part of it is absolutely. You're popular. So when you speak, you have a lot of influence. And so when I speak about you being bad, I get money. I don't give a fuck, but I believe everything I say, and I know I'm right. So I don't give a shit. Ugh, it's drama farming. What are you talking about? You sit on fucking stream 10 hours a day watching MasterChef and getting up and pissing while other people's videos play, and you provide no meaningful commentary. And you're going to sit here and you're going to tell me that I'm just farming something? All you do is farm other people's videos to entertain your audience. That's all you do. And then it's either you're watching a boring ass fucking MasterChef video or whatever, someone else's video. The video's not boring, but he's providing nothing on the screen. Or you're riling them up by saying that Israeli people are bad because they arrest 13-year-olds that want to stab people to death. And it's like, okay, great. Like that sounds like a really good mentally healthy atmosphere for you to exist in. Kids, because it's kids who watch Hasan, because you get old enough. Like watching Hasan is like believing in Santa Claus. You get to a certain age where you're like, what the fuck was I thinking? So it's like, you're corrupting the minds of children to be radicalized fucking nut freaks that don't engage intelligently with anything. Like, you are a net loss perspective. If FD Signifier is going to make a video about Sneeko grooming his audience, then he needs to make a video about how Hasan is grooming his audience as well, because the radical shit is insane. Obviously, we agree on things like we need better social safety nets and other progressive things. I agree with those. But outside of that, all he's doing is he's using that as a shield to be as divisive and as antagonistic and as obnoxious as possible to dehumanize whatever specific person or whatever specific group of people he wants to. And it's always Western. That's all it is. If you're pro-West, then like he's going to dehumanize you and he's going to make it seem like your life is invaluable. The 1,200 people who were murdered by Hamas, they don't really matter. But the kid who gets arrested and yelled at by an Israeli officer because he was trying to stab people to death, that kid is fucking innocent. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Full on, lolcow. If you want people to stop farming you, you have to stop misreporting stories. You have all the power in this situation, but he can't because he's unaware of his lolcow ways.
True.
Fresh milk from Willie's Drama Farm in Piker City, USA.
I actually love milk.
Buy a hat. It's a real hat at
That's funny. That's funny.
WillyMacShop.com. Link in
That's funny. Bro, why the fuck is your WillyMac shop not in the goddamn thing?
the description. Comes with extra vitamin D. I give it an A+. There is just zero accountability with this guy when it comes to covering the news. Hasan Piker.
Bro, give me a fucking code. Give me a 10% off code.
Illegal drugs.
Dude, this guy is such a fucking idiot, dude. One, you're black.
Hasan has been misreporting.
What the fuck is the context of that? Okay.
Stories going on 2 years now, and his Twitch.
You thought I hate? When the fuck did I say I hated milk? What are you talking about? I never said I hated milk. I love milk. I drink milk out of the container without anything in it. I love milk. What are you? I'm not even kidding. My wife thinks it's disgusting. It's good for heartburn, by the way. What the hell? That's the most misrepresented I've ever felt in my entire goddamn life.
You're black.
Hasan has been misreporting stories going on 2 years now, and his Twitch audience has been dwindling because of it. And
it doesn't seem like it's doing that bad. You know, that's just the ups and downs of content creation, baby. It looks a lot more stable than you're showing. I mean, I'm not glazing the guy. I'm just saying I have noticed that he gets fewer, viewers, but 20K average viewers. What do I get? 150? Incredible stuff.
Because of it. And due to his demonization of other people for having different points of view, he lost his biggest avenue to new viewers, being the Leftover podcast.
People are saying rip leftovers. Yeah, probably.
Damn.
The whole fucking thing was such a disappointing, horrible experience, how it ended. I just know the stuff that people were saying about me was just bananas.
Hey, bananas. Wait, how do I find, did somebody send me this? I want to cover this myself. Did somebody send me the clips? I want to talk about it. Maybe I won't, but let's really talk about it.
Not worth it. It's just not worth it.
He's now had so many streamers and YouTubers laugh at his poor coverage that his number is only going to keep dropping. And he's so desperate that he's resorting to criticizing his competitors for not jumping to conclusions.
Every time I see clips of Destiny, it's always like very confident, but also...
Wow, he's talking about Destiny again? Dude, Hasan is spiraling out of control. This is Hasan's downfall arc. He's completely destroyed the trust of his only friend, which was Ethan. And now... he's spiraling out, talking about Destiny again. He specifically, that was like his whole thing, and it was smart to never talk about anybody. He should have never given clout to Destiny. He should have never given clout to WillyMac. I love that he is. I love the content, and Hasan is a piece of shit. But from his own perspective, he should have done that. And I understand that Destiny built Hasan, but now Hasan is more popular than Destiny, right? But so he should have never given any attention ever. That would have been the way to go if he wanted to push his career forward. Now this is fucking hilarious. Hasan was on the precipice of being mainstream. He had like Adam is whatever, that loser, on to talk to him. He should have been trying to talk to like actual famous people about political topics. He should have been trying to go more towards like a Lex Friedman approach if he was going to talk to people. And now he's dripping back down into like bullshit community politics. Like he's on his downfall. It's not going to be huge like other people, but he's not on his way up now. He's going down. He used to play fucking Among Us with AOC. And like you noticed that years ago AOC was a little radical and crazy, and now she's kind of like she's gotten her shit together because she's a person that evolves and grows. Hasan's gotten worse. It's actually insane. All right, that's why they're not hanging out. Hasan was like, he was so close to mainstream, and every time he does this, he's just going lower and lower and lower and lower and lower. And it'll be so funny if it would be so funny and poetic if like the biggest defining destructive moment for Hasan's career is when he finally talks to Destiny again, and yeah, he just gets fucking absolutely steamrolled on that, because Destiny's getting closer to mainstream as well. He's almost had a conversation with Ben Shapiro. It got pushed back, my understanding, and it may get permanently pushed back, but he's on a radar, and Ben Shapiro is much more mainstream than anybody else. So
also confidently unsure, but because he's like channeling State Department propaganda, it oftentimes
State Department
is just left unnoticed. Like people don't look at it and go, wait, what do you mean? You're not really sure? Okay, well, how about you get sure?
Bro, I wish...
Yeah, I agree, Hasan, get sure.
You were more unsure. The problem is you were way too sure. Hasan is so painfully unaware that he does this.
I think I have the exact opposite problem where I am grossly aware of the lack of knowledge that I have on a particular matter.
Yeah, my problem is I don't eat enough.
Because there's so much. Always. There's so much more to learn. So I don't have that same level of confidence. IDF didn't bomb the hospital? Yes, it did! Yes, it did! Attack on U.S.
It actually didn't.
Consulate in Iran happening now? False flag. 100%.
Oh, got him!
False flag. When I say MEK, I just mean CIA. I said MEK, but...
Hey guys, my birthday's next week. Tell me next week then, bitch. I'm just kidding. I love you. Happy early birthday.
But I mean CIA.
Yes.
Bro, sooner or later Destiny will be on Joe Rogan. I honestly wouldn't doubt that.
You have that same ignorant level of confidence. That's why you're always getting called out for being wrong. Saying I don't know, I need to look into it first is a commendable trait, and people like Hasan should adopt that. Failed, 0% self-awareness, 0% on the test. Hasan is not going to change, and I don't expect him to, but I do think there's value in pointing out how frequently he gets stuff wrong. He couldn't go a week. He couldn't cover cookies. That being said, I'm moving on from Hasan. I'm sick of covering his fake news and his fake laugh. I just want to make videos on something fresher, at least until he screws up the next major geopolitical issue. I will be talking to Destiny at some point on his stream, just
Wow, more content for Papa Gut.
trying to wrap up some odds and ends that didn't make it in my videos. Until then, subscribe to the channel and be sure to check out Galaxy Lamps. Also, shout out to the homies over on Patreon.
Okay, this is all we do.
What the Latchkey Goth Boy, Cyber Katie, Lore Reloaded, Papa Gut.
Dunzo. Thank you for giving me a refund, by the way, as through the donation of $10, WillyMac. All right, cool video.